Take down, sir. Hostile eliminated.
Do you like Star Wars? I like Star Wars. At least the pre-Disney stuff anyway. Back when the target audience was 12-year-old boys. And what was more popular with 12-year-old boys than the Xbox? This is where Republic Commando comes in. Republic Commando takes place in the Clone Wars era of Star Wars lore. One side has mass-produced combat robots, the other side has a shitload of clones of the most badass guy in the galaxy. The Trade Federation says the war is about taxes or some shit, but it's actually about slavery. It is a massive proxy war orchestrated by Sheev Palpatine, yes that's his fucking name, Sheev, as an excuse to centralize power on himself to become the Emperor. Obviously fucking everybody already knows this, but I'm going over the lore to establish why this is such a good setting for video games. Clones vs. Droids is a perfect setup for the old quality versus quantity dynamic. The quality side always has something engaging going on, and the galactic scale means there is no end to the variety of potential locales, war theaters, and operation types for new stories to take place. And at the end of the day, the war doesn't matter and both sides are disposable. So the larger canon doesn't really care about what happens in any given engagement. This whole setup means that playing as the boots on the ground is very fun, and luckily for us, that's exactly what this game is about. You play as the leader of a special forces squad tasked with doing a bunch of boots on the ground operator type shit. Despite being clones, everyone in your squad has a unique personality, armor design, and nickname. Apparently that was George Lucas's idea. He was like, the game's too serious, you should make them special clones. Also hire Robin Williams. Obviously they didn't have the budget to hire Robin Williams, but that explains why the squad members are so distinct. Scorch is your demolitions expert and resident wisecracker.
Did I miss anything important?
Moving to cover.
Did you get the data?
orders?
Yeah, they searched me, but I hid the data pretty well.
Where exactly?
You don't want to know.
Roger that. Doubters, move out!
Sev is your HR supervisor and relationship counselor. His hobbies include long walks on the beach, traditional massage therapy, and picking on Scorch.
Someone important noted your excellence on Geonosis.
You hear that, Sev? Someone thinks I'm excellent.
Well, at least that makes two of you.
Fixer is your by-the-book technology expert. He doesn't speak much unless spoken to, or unless you fuck something up.
Don't get near the mines unless crouched.
Delta 3-8 is fallen.
Sir, maybe you should let 6-2 handle the explosives.
These aren't just your squad mates, they are your brothers. Your teamwork and fraternal bond are the only thing stopping you from becoming another wrist rocket statistic. Once you finish your training on Commando, you and your brothers in arms are shipped off to go play the game. When you first boot it up, it looks like this. I am barely touching the mouse right now. Luckily, the Eternal Vestibule of Technical Information PC Gaming Wiki has what we need. Now we can run the game on a real screen, turn the FOV up, and the mouse acceleration off. You should also get the widescreen HUD and crosshair fix, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. There's a few random things tied to the frame rate, so weird shit happens if you don't lock it, like your helmet turning into the Michael J. Fox experience. I set it to 144 because I wanted to, but you should probably keep it at 60. I had a few small issues, like the beam weapons seemed to fire based on the frame rate, and this fucking rocket turret clipped into the floor, but I put up with it because smooth. This game was made for the Xbox using the same cursed version of Unreal as the bad Deus Ex game and the bad Thief game, but they do a great job sidestepping their technical limitations. The engine cannot handle wide open areas, but thankfully the Clone Wars setting is here to save us again. You're here to do squad-based operator type shit, so the claustrophobic level design is appropriate rather than being completely fucking antithetical to the rest of the series. The only time the engine issues rear their head is with the loading screens. I have the game on an SSD, so every loading screen just feels like a smash cut.
Remember, no Russian.
There is one major upside to this being on Unreal 2, the ragdolls.
Ready?
Keep moving, Deltas. Topper must be in there somewhere. Confirmed. Good work, Delta.
Art design wise, this is a slightly grittier interpretation of Star Wars. This is war after all.
What the? You've got to be kidding.
Alright, this is getting serious.
It is kind of funny to me how fucking beefy the Wookiees and Super Battle Droids are. The Supers are that way for a gameplay reason that we'll get into later, but how the fuck did these Roid Rage Wookiees get past Lucas? The UI design is pretty bad overall. The diegetic helmet HUD is like cute, but it really suffers from being designed for a TV. A lot of elements like the crosshair are too fucking big, although the crosshair fix mod would have mitigated that somewhat. Anytime you look at a command target, this giant fucking square pops up in your face, and looking at pickups does this. Wait a minute, is this all intentional?
I can't see a thing in this helmet.
I like the rest of the UI though. You can easily see the status, condition, and location of your boys, ammo is displayed on the weapon itself, and getting gunk on your visor is pretty funny. Also, I like how the HUD refers to your squad members by their serial numbers. It's a nice touch. I can't really talk about the sound design. I played a bunch of Star Wars as a kid, so I associate sounds like, and
Watch those wrist rockets!
with a time when life wasn't so fucking complicated. I didn't have this game as a kid, so I don't have any nostalgic bias towards the gameplay, but it's hard to say if the soundscape is good or if it just reminds me of Battlefront 2. What I can talk about, however, is the voice acting. Your entire squad is comprised of Star Wars regulars, including Karth,
Can I have some cover here?
the Battlefront 2 announcer,
That's another command post under Republic control.
Ambush, ambush! Delta Squad, take cover!
and wait, Dio? What the fuck?
An oil tanker for you.
Sorry, I got distracted. The player character is actually voiced by Temuera Morrison.
The Polynesian spy.
If that means nothing to you, he played Jango Fett in the movies, the guy all the clones are cloned from. That's why half of them have this, like, vaguely British accent. They're trying to do Morrison's Kiwi accent.
Oh, one of the deluxe models. Come to save us with your superior training.
This deluxe model is the only thing standing between you and a bloody death. So you'd best be showing some respect, Trooper.
Yes, sir. What are your orders, sir?
Hold the line. Kill any lizards you see. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Will do, sir.
I fucking love his voice, and I think it was really cool of him to come back and voice clone troopers for random shit. Like, yeah, I was a major character in one of the largest franchises fucking ever, but sure, I'll come back and do some voice lines for Clone Trooper 02. He doesn't get as much time to shine as the Battlefront 2 campaign, but he does get all the best one-liners.
An elegant weapon for a more civilized time, huh? Well, guess what? Times have changed.
The soundtrack has a lot of John Williams music, which is obviously just fucking fantastic. If you can watch this scene and not feel some kind of human emotion, I have bad news for you. You are a skinwalker. I'm not showing any of it, however, because Disney is a fucking litigious company. This is a review, literally the textbook definition of fair use, so I would win any copyright claim, but I just don't feel like fighting them. Disney has beaten me down and broken me. There is some non-Williams music for us to talk about though. There's not a lot of it, but the music composed for the game pulls from Mandalorian culture. War and battle are an integral part of their culture. So important, in fact, that they've glassed their own homeworld. So the Mandalorian people wander the galaxy looking for new fights to pick. This is why all the best mercenaries and bounty hunters are Mandalorians. So a lot of the tracks reflect this long-standing martial tradition through their vocals and instrumentation. And of course, the fucking kick-ass war choir songs written in the Mandoa conlang that is almost certainly not canon anymore. Being a post-Halo Xbox game, Republic Commando opens up assuming you know what a first-person shooter is. You know, you point the gun at stuff, pew-pew, bad guy falls over, we all know the deal. So the beginning of the game is pretty quick to introduce all the basic mechanics. You've got a rifle and a crappy infinite ammo pistol, you get a sniper rifle and a grenade launcher, which are both set up as attachments to your main weapon. You have 4 types of grenade, although I never got much use out of the proximity charges beyond just chucking them at people's heads. I'm pretty sure I thought they were impact grenades until this playthrough. And finally, you have a 5th weapon slot for whatever you can scavenge from your enemies.
I heard they carry an LS-150 heavy ACP repeater.
You heard right. Nasty weapon.
The shooting plays out pretty nicely, but you're a little weak. The main rifle does like 70% of the damage you'd expect, and you don't get enough ammo to rely on your other guns. That's because your best weapon is actually your left hand. No, actually, it's not the wrist blade, although that is pretty sick. You use your left hand to give orders to your squad. They can place explosives.
Let's rearrange some architecture, Deltas.
Setting charge.
hack terminals,
Slice that door, Delta.
I'll need some cover here.
breach doors,
Breach that door.
Commencing door breach maneuver. Detonator set. Clear.
Watch this.
revive squad mates,
Someone take care of them.
6-2 on 7.
man turrets,
Mount that turret, Delta.
I thought you'd never ask, sir.
or take up a weapons position.
Take up snipe position, Commando.
Moving to your mark.
Oops, fuck. If you're in a better position for it, you can also do any of these things yourself. On top of these contextual orders, you have formation commands on the F keys. You've got move on,
Let's move on.
Ready, sir.
hold position,
Hold that position.
Roger that.
form up,
Let's form up.
Forming up, sir.
and search and destroy.
Take offensive formation.
Yes, sir.
Having 4 commands and a contextual command are obviously made for the controller, but this level of control is perfectly fine for this kind of game. It's not trying to be SWAT 4 Star Wars Edition, it's going for something a little more casual. I call it the first-person pointer. It's not quite as dumb as my favorite brainless shooters, but also not as mentally demanding as something like Doom Eternal. It's in a good sweet spot where I can wave my hand around and feel cool, while the design of the game makes sure I'm using my squad properly. The only thing it's really missing is a cheer button. Your squad aren't just here for the ride. As the store page puts it, you are their leader. They are your weapon. This is reinforced by the other design elements. I mentioned earlier that your main rifle kinda sucks. This is intentional. The gun isn't great on its own, but there are 4 of you. You and the boys aren't just stuck with a subpar weapon though. You have attachment weapons limited by ammo, and your squad have attachment weapons restricted to being in a weapons position. So individually, you're each kinda weak, but set up and working together, nothing can stand in your way. This is drilled into you early by the super battle droid, who lives up to his name. They have a shitload of health, so the only way to bring them down is coordinated combined fire. The level design does an excellent job maintaining a constant sense of forward momentum. The general pattern is clearing rooms, taking strategic locations, and holding those locations long enough to do an objective. Since the weapons positions are so powerful, they make a good strategic incentive to push forward. Even in the absence of these positions, forward momentum is still highly rewarding. No matter how crappy the situation, I could always find a way to keep gaining ground. A great example of this is in the droid pods. They constantly spit out new droids, and the only way to stop them is with an explosive charge. So you can't just sit back and let the enemy come to you, you actually have to take the position and hold it long enough for someone to place the charge. Of course, none of this would work if the AI was dog shit. Thankfully, it is fucking incredible. Even without orders, they're pretty good at taking care of business. They seek cover, duck under friendly lines of fire, cover each other's reloads, and work pretty well in melee. They can recognize the right time to use healing stations or revive friendlies, even if you didn't explicitly order them to. It's not 100% perfect though. Their pathfinding can make them look a little silly sometimes, and I saw them make boneheaded decisions like 3 times. But overall, this might be some of the best squad AI I've ever seen. Wait, where's Sev? Oh, come on. There you go. Let's move. Wait, where's Scorch? Oh, god damn it. Get out of the fucking... There we go. That was the worst I've ever seen it. Usually if they get stuck or something, it's a person and they'll let you know.
With all due respect, sir, you're in my way.
When you die, you can either choose to maintain their current orders and revive you when they can, or have one drop whatever they were doing and come get you ASAP.
Good to go, sir. Squad lead down.
Bacta. Now.
Can you die later, sir? It just isn't a good time now.
In any other game, I'd be like, yeah, I don't care. I'm the player. Come get me. But the fact that I can trust my boys to clean up without me is a huge testament to the design. There are a few occasions where you get separated from your squad, and they're all kind of terrible. You're not John Halo, you're a cog in a machine. I guess it gives you an appreciation for the squad? The beginning of the game introduces you to your squad mates one at a time, so the end of the game fittingly has you drop off your squad mates one at a time. Every time you lose a squad member, the game gets significantly worse. And then it ends. I'd usually talk about the story here, but I don't really care about this game's story. Like I said, we're just the boots on the ground here. We don't matter to the wider canon. The story is just here to say Army Man shit into our ear to give us some pretext for all the squad tactics gameplay. I'm not calling it bad, I actually like it this way. If the story was more involved, I wouldn't give a shit. Me and the boys are here to wave our hands around and shoot everything. I couldn't give less of a shit about Sun Fac. Wait, no, that's not my gimmick. Please don't hurt me, no! That was Republic Commando. For me, it is the perfect mix of Star Wars nostalgia, Brotherhood camaraderie, and light squad tactics gameplay. I hope I can find something else like it, because I am hungry for more. I loved waving my hand around, shooting shit, and shooting the shit with my clone brethren.
That's what I'm talking about. It's It's a power generator in the middle of a
Up
train.
and over, Diltas. You need to keep moving.
Sev, when this is over, I'm gonna make sure that you get some R&R.
Thank you for watching. I realized that people listen to these. I didn't think people would listen to these. This is just here because I feel like it. The fucking channel popped off with the goddamn Zomboid video. That was crazy. I unlocked monetization. I made like $3. Woo! If you want to see more videos like this, do what you can to help this video on the algorithm. You know, like it, leave a comment, even if it's like a smiley face or something dumb. Or, you know, spread it around, share it to your friends. And if you really want to see more of these videos, I do have a Patreon. And if you watch this far into the video, I'm clearly doing something right, even if it's just making a relaxing audio experience that can go on your second monitor while you tune me out and do something else. I'm not blaming you, I do that exact same thing. Contrary to what it may seem, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing, so I am more than open to feedback. I'd love to know what videos you actually like from this channel, because there are like two main directions that I can go. I can do those kind of like short punchy videos like the EU4 video, or I can talk longer about more things like that Call of Juarez video or Doom or Sekiro or, well, you know, any video that I made that's too long. I don't think the Zomboid video counts for either of those categories because I get out my own ass, but it's also pretty quick. If your favorite video is the Zomboid video, I have no idea how to replicate that beyond just continuing to do what I'm doing now, and I have no fucking idea what I'm doing now, so yeah, sorry. But shit, this is the end of the video and you're still listening, so stay tuned next time for when we fucking cause a lot of explosions.
To save our Mother Earth from any alien attack,
From vicious giant insects who have once again come you back. And the Swiss cheese! Unleash all our forces, we won't cut them any slack! We will fight.
the easy boys.